Our first of 4 fights on this main card, and we are underway. We've now moved to pro boxing rules, so these will be 3-minute rounds. I believe 4 3-minute rounds.
Yes, this one is.
Our main event tonight between Nava and Lopez will be an 8-round boxing match. Toppin looking for that right hand over the top.
Little change of pace. The feet are going to stay on the canvas this time, guys. Boxing
right.
only. So we got 2 Louisiana boys hooking up right here in Oklahoma, Miami, Oklahoma. Andrew, a Shreveport, Louisiana native, originally from New Kent, Virginia, and then down by New Orleans. Elijah coming from Harvey, Louisiana.
Making a trip.
It's quite the haul.
Ooh, big shot there from Eli.
Eli firing off that jab with the left hand. Very, very crisp right there. Toppin doing a great job with that right, going to counter there. But Eli got some good head movement.
And he's using that length. That 6 inches is good, you know,
Yeah,
just staying out there.
We talked about that being the big factor when we introduced the two, was how would Toppin handle that height.
You see Toppin being a little more the aggressor right here.
Yeah, he's been in Eli's face the entire time.
Yeah, Eli's really going to learn to work that jab.
I think that's where he needs to be.
Eli doing a pretty good, Toppin doing a pretty good job of cutting him off here.
And I think you're absolutely right, Big John. If you've got somebody who outsides you, they got the reach on you, you want to close that distance and take that jab, take that reach away from them. There's the Eli with a shot to the body, Toppin with the old 1-2. Eli firing off that jab, trying to load up that big right hand. He can't get it off. Toppin doing a great job closing the distance like you alluded to earlier, John.
Good body work there from Andrew Toppin.
Yeah, I think the body's where he needs to go on the taller guy.
Certainly would make sense. We've seen him land a couple big shots there. Nice 1-2 from Eli.
Bounced right off the forehead of Toppin. Ooh. Toppin got him with that uppercut. Must have got a little more damage behind it than we thought.
Yeah, he also had the hold of the back of his head right there as they were breaking apart, too. And the referee didn't like that.
Marcio La Silva in charge of all the action here tonight, the third man in the ring.
He's done a great job tonight, too, John. You were talking about that earlier. He's done a really good job with the stoppages and the way he's handled some of these things that have happened.
Yeah, I agree. Just overall good job.
Yeah, been very vocal with the fighters, not interjecting himself too much, only when necessary.
Right.
Good dirty boxing there in close from both fighters.
Toppin still pushing the pace. He's being the aggressor. He's kind of steering the bus right here.
There's that jab.
Eli just picking him apart with that jab there.
And that's really the equalizer for Eli, right? Being the taller fighter, that jab's got to be what he works from.
100%.
Well, you keep your opponent at bay, and there's so many things you can set up off of that jab.
Competitive first round between Andrew Toppin and Elijah Phillip.
The AKA DJ MP3, keeping it crunk here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, DJ MP3 does an incredible job as well. Great to have him aboard.
That's right. Yeah, good first round for both guys, I think.
Yeah, it really was. We saw some good work from both guys. I thought some of the body work from Toppin was good. The thing that really stood out to me was that Toppin was constantly in Elijah Phillip's face. Every time, you know, they moved around the ring, there was Andrew Toppin walking down Elijah Phillip. That was one of the things that stuck out to me.
And you got to think that's part of the game plan coming from Coach Franklin. And you can see Coach Franklin is not happy lighting him up, keeping him motivated in the corner right now.
Blake Franklin with some fiery words in between rounds. There's a nice picture-in-picture there by our producer-director, Luke Hawkins. Ooh, nice shot there from Elijah Phillip, excuse me.
He's landing that jab at will, but can't find the big right hand when he loads it up. Toppin doing a great job defending that.
See what adjustments are made here early on in round number 2.
Yeah, I think Toppin's got to get inside. You don't want to stay outside with that jab.
Nice combo that time by Elijah. Threw a little soft uppercut in there.
Yeah, first time we've seen the uppercut from Elijah.
Now Toppin coming in hard. Eli got to reassess there. Working the body, a little bit of Toppin is Elijah.
First time we've seen that from Elijah. Nice left hand.
I'll see if we can work out of the clinch, and they do. Eli going back to the bread and butter, the old jab right there. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
That's right.
Nice flurry of punches that time by Toppin.
Yeah, but he ate another jab at the end of that sequence. Halfway through round number 2.
There's that jab once again by Eli. Toppin showing a little head movement there, trying to close the distance again.
I think this is where he does his best work.
Absolutely, it's where he's got to do his work.
Yeah, keep him trapped in that corner. He can really do some damage here.
Coach Blake Franklin calling for the body.
Yeah, and it was open too. There's no doubt those shots were there.
Yeah, the forehead to the chest wasn't doing a whole lot for Toppin.
No, but the jab to the forehead from Elijah's doing a whole lot of damage. Good stuff once again from Phillip.
Yeah, I agree with you, John. I think Toppin missed an opportunity when he had him pinned up in the corner there. Nice big hand.
That's a good counter.
No guillotines, none of that.
Yeah, Elijah's fighting the fight he wants to fight with that jab. You know that was his game plan coming in, sticking the jab and working behind that.
And we all know from being around the fight game so long, when you've got the reach, if you don't use it to your advantage, you're doing yourself a disservice.
That's right.
Yep.
Use the tools you've got in your box.
Final 30.
I think Toppin's got to move his head off center line and get out.
Yeah, he's a little too flat-footed right now. Eli just touching him up.
Toppin trying to close the round out strong here. Referee calling for the break. Coming to the end of round number 2 here. There's our 10-second clapper.
Toppin really starting to slow down here. Good left hand from Elijah Phillip.
Yeah, got mouth open, look like he's a little tired.
Yeah, both fighters are a little tired. You could certainly see some deep breaths from Toppin at the end of round number 2, though.
Let's see what Coach tells him to do. Let's see what happens.
Well, and it feels like right now Elijah Phillip is the one being able to implement his game plan, right? He's using the reach, touching him up with that jab, and then Toppin has not been able to take advantage of the moments. There's been some openings, but he really hasn't taken advantage yet.
Yeah, I agree.
And again, just looking at the little things, like you said, closing that round, you see Toppin doing a little mouth breathing. Really haven't seen Elijah break much of a sweat here.
Every time they broke from the clinch, as soon as they would come back together, boom, jab right on the forehead. Every single time. That's something Toppin's just got to be more aware of.
And here we go, beginning of round number 3. Elijah Phillip, Andrew Toppin.
Right back to the jab.
Well, it's like Nolan Ryan on the mound. If you're throwing the heat all night, no reason to bring out the curveball.
If they can't hit the fastball, you keep throwing it. There's that jab. Fastball is right down the middle. Toppin firing back.
Right there's where he needs to go to work.
If you get him to that spot, you got to take advantage of it.
It really just worked the body. I mean, it's open.
Toppin with a body shot. Elijah answers with one of his own. He is touching Toppin up, though.
Toppin doing everything he can to avoid those blows, and Elijah just crisp with those punches. Very crisp.
Not sitting down on him, just touching him over and over and over.
This is the first of our 4 professional boxing bouts on the card here tonight, winding things out. The main event, a big 8-rounder with the undefeated Carlos Nava taking on Juan Antonio Lopez.
Couldn't be more excited to see Nava back in there again, coming off a big win back at AKA 40. Ooh, little shot that's going to stop the action.
Body shot there.
Referee La Silva going into his count now. Toppin back to his feet. Looks like we're going to start the bout back.
Back to the action. Elijah right back with that jab and then again to the body. Now he's starting to put some power on those, and that's going to drop Toppin once again. They're going to stop this fight. The corner going to throw in the towel here. That's it. At about the halfway point of round number 2, Elijah Phillip stops Andrew Toppin with a body shot.
Man, once you damage that body, it's so hard to regroup.
Especially once your gas tanks run out, too. You could tell he was getting tired. It's so much more difficult to rebound, right, to regain, and it just couldn't happen for Andrew Toppin in this scenario. And Elijah Phillip gets the finish and his first professional win as a boxer. That's got to be a big-time moment for Elijah Phillip, and really just a great execution of the game plan, John.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. You know that's what they came in. Shorter guy. You always want to use your jab against a guy like that, and that's what he did. He worked it to the T.
It's one of those things, even without looking at the fighters, you see a fighter's 6 inches taller, and you immediately assume that they have the advantage, especially when the reach is that long as well. And Elijah Phillip had the advantage, took advantage of the advantage, implemented his game plan, and comes away with his first professional win as a boxer.
And Toppin, he is game. He's gamer. He came in here, knew he had an uphill battle with the guy that's 6 inches taller, but he'll learn from that and go back to the drawing board and get back at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, our referee Marcio La Silva has called a stoppage to the action at 2 minutes 4 seconds in round number 3, declaring your winner, fighting in the blue corner, Elijah Phillip.
My chips on, I got this here.
So a good win for Elijah Phillip. He'll take that win back to Harvey, Louisiana, back down south.
It's got to be exciting getting your first one,
And in dominant fashion, too, right? He was really in control of that fight. And it's got to be good to see your game plan play out, how you worked on it all camp, right? And go in, execute, pick up your first win. Definitely a big night for Elijah Phillip.